What's good? What's good? What's good? If you hear my voice, that means
It's
it's Monday.
Monday.
And that means it's between 7 and 8, which means it's the Making Mogul Show.
That's a fact.
And we live on YouTube. I actually got sent out the link because I got a bunch of people interested
Oh, nice.
in hearing us today. I've been doing a lot of promo all week.
Yes, you have. You've been doing an amazing job.
I'm proud. I mean, I got extra time because my job want to play games, but
Still?
yeah, they put me on the schedule last week. They can put me on
Okay.
the schedule this week.
Oh, wow.
That's gonna be their problem though. They're gonna figure it out. In the meantime, we here, we live. Let's go, baby.
That's a fact. So it's your girl, Dime.
That's Dime with a Y, not a I.
Okay.
And it's Vijano.
The one and only.
That's a fact. And we're gonna get into this Making Moguls.
Yes.
Hmm.
So
we,
today we do have a guest.
we do.
Our guest isn't here yet, but we're looking forward to speaking with her more about her career and everything that she got going on. So today, we decided to get started on time.
On time. On time. We here.
Yes, we are here. So we're going to start off the show like we always do with our small wins. So y'all know that every week we start the show with just, something that we've done or accomplished or experienced in the past week that isn't necessarily considered a big win or something super substantial, but something that we can put a highlight on to be proud of ourselves that we did it.
Yeah. My small win for this week is the amount of preparation I've been doing. I've been taking the time to schedule out my things for 2023. I had a choice.
Very important.
I had a choice between try to grind the rest of this year out and, struggle to make it happen, or call it what it is and focus for 2023. And I really just, I was like, you know what? There's no point in struggling, no point in fighting for that. I still, whatever opportunities come my way for 2022, we're still going to take care of it. I still got a couple plans, but I really took this time to really just focus in on what I want to accomplish over the next year and give myself the time to knock it out. That includes Can of Baddies, that includes Making Moguls, that includes travel stuff. So if you guys following on the Instagram or on the Facebook, look out for a lot of stuff. We got a lot of stuff going on. So yeah, I'm proud of that. That's my small win.
That's a really big small win because for me, like the fourth quarter is always about planning the year ahead. You know?
I got it from you actually.
Yeah. Every year, like, I'll just hit him up and be like, yeah, so this is everything that I got planned for 2023.
I'm like, damn, we not even finished this year. I don't know what, but you know what? You're right.
You cannot wait. You cannot wait until the year starts and then be like, yeah, this is what we're gonna do.
Nope.
It's that's very counterproductive to being a successful business owner. I would say
very counterproductive.
Yeah.
very counterproductive.
I would say for me, my small win was yesterday. So yesterday was Roxy's show.
Yeah.
Shout out to Roxy Lozama. She was here last week as a guest. And it's so funny because she did an event at the beginning of the year, and that was around the time that one of my clients had his investment opportunities going on. And I learned something really important during that experience because, things don't last forever. So you have to take advantage when it's there. And I never thought like, let me ask him to like invest in a celebs and fashion event or one of my events. And that, our events are pretty successful.
Yep.
So,
pretty is an understatement.
Right. So when she had contacted me to, be a part of the investment webinar that we did at the time for that client. I was like, yeah, sure. And when she pitched, I was like, dang, why I ain't think of that?
Mm-hmm.
The girl is so smart. Like, I was like, dang, why I ain't think of that? And, after the fact, I realized, like, okay, I'm blocking my own blessings from situations that I'm the one providing.
Mm.
So, it wound up not necessarily going through with my client as an investment partner. So I actually did it.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Yeah, I wound up doing it, and it was great. It was a really good experience, and I haven't invested in somebody else's event in a very long time. So for me, like, that was a big one. That was me, like, re-implementing investor onto my long list of things that I do. So then fast forward, she comes on the show last week, whatever, and we spoke, and she was like, does that guy still have investment opportunities? And I sat there and I looked at this text message. I'm like, I really still, again, like, didn't ask for any of the things that I had going on, and it's still fresh in her mind. Like, oh, I need this. Why not ask? So, wound up investing again. So I went yesterday to the event. It was a very dope event. And I had to power through that experience. I'm not going to lie. When I got there, I was so happy to be there.
Mm-hmm.
But literally before I walked into those doors, like, I was having a whole mental breakdown.
Damn.
And I'm so glad that my brother Chris was with me, because I don't think I would have made it. But I guess, to put it in shorter words, my small win was more so choosing myself over my emotions. Because it gets so easy to get wrapped up in what you're feeling at that moment that it stops you from doing the things that you really want to do.
That's a fact.
And I was just like, okay. He was like, do you still want to go? Because I'm, like, sitting in his car crying my eyes out. It was crazy.
Yeah, I feel you.
And he's like, do you still want to go to the show? I was like, yeah, let's just go. I got myself together, walked in. The first face that I see is a model that's walked in my shows for years. She was working the door, and just her greeting, like, put me in a whole different lane of experience. She's like, oh my God, Dime. Oh, I saw your name on the list. I'm so happy you're here. And I was just like, I'm happy I'm here too.
That's a fact.
Immediately. So I would say that, taking from my small win from this week, I would just say to, our listeners and the people that support us, it is extremely important to choose yourself every time. And sometimes you need that moment. Sometimes the answer is not to still go to the event or do the thing or whatever, but don't block your own blessings by being in your emotions.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. And that kind of
my TED Talk.
That kind of like breaks into a little bit of something I want to talk about tonight before we get into the main topic, and I want to cover it again. We are entrepreneurs, and we are dealing with entrepreneurs, helping small businesses, helping artists and creatives, dropping these gems. And the biggest gem I want to drop right now is be very aware of the times, because things is not easy right now.
Nope.
Things is getting more difficult. Things are getting harder. I mean, those are synonymous. The access to certain things are changing. And not to say that there's not opportunities out there. Not to say
there's
that
always going to be opportunity.
There's always opportunities out there. There's always ways to finesse it. I mean, people made money during the pandemic. People made money during the Great Depression. Money's always there to be made. But understand where you are. Understand what's going on in the times. Understand what's going on in your personal life. Understand what's going on in your clients' personal life. Not their personal lives, but, things that your clients also have to take into consideration. Your customers have to take in consideration. Your partners have to take in consideration. The economy is taken in consideration. And be easy on yourself. take those things into consideration and make decisions that put you first.
Yeah.
Because I had a problem this summer, where I was doing events, and it was the summer that everybody was outside and everybody was lit and this and the third, and I had great events, but I wish my turnout was greater.
Mm-hmm.
And I spent so much time frustrated. How can I get more people to come out? How can I do this? How can I do that? Instead of taking the time to step back and be like, all right, if this is where the base of the clientele is, how can I better assist that base? You know?
Right.
And so it's something that I had to learn and understand, that like, just because the idea may seem like a great idea doesn't mean it's the right time or the right space for it. It doesn't mean it doesn't invalidate the idea.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's that people be like, oh, well, it didn't work. Now it's a sucky idea. And it's like, it just could have been the wrong flavor. It could have been the wrong time. It could have been the wrong taste buds. Like, it doesn't mean the recipe's a problem.
Exactly.
And so, you know, you really, like, you know, I you gotta sit back and recognize what's happening. And maybe if you sell it, like, for example, I sell travel stuff, but I know that flights right now are crazy. I know that with the flights being crazy and airlines, you know, dropping flights, doing this, that, and the third, people getting delayed. I push more local vacations, you know, like I push cruises that's going to leave out of New York so you don't have to fly nowhere.
Right.
As opposed to, you know, having to fly and miss your flight and because, you know, I've dealt with that just with dealing with people who's booking myself, you know, like I've dealt with it on my own, I've dealt with it with my clients. So like, yeah, I know, like, yeah, people want to go on vacations, and so like I'll push travel insurance, or I'll push a flight that, you know, could be moved, or tell them book a couple days in advance and give them, like, you know, like I know how to handle that situation now, as opposed to just being like, yo, I got this all inclusive in Mexico and nobody want to get on a plane. And then I'm just like, why am I not booking? It's like, because nobody wants to get on a plane right now. Like, you know, so like.
I definitely agree, because even so when it comes to the travel stuff, right? What I would like to see more from you specifically, because, like, you know, I'll help other travel businesses, but why when I could just help you?
That's a fact.
I want to see, and I know you already have this plan in your head, I want to see more content about travel, not necessarily what trips you're offering and, you know, the cookie cutter, straight to the point, this is what's available type of content, and more so, not even like actual travel content either, because you could take stuff from places you've been and things like that, and, you know, cut it up and make it look real nice. But you need to post more content based on, like you said, the time that we're in, and how to find what people need in the time that we're in. So if you know how to find cheaper flights, or if you know, like we all know, if you book a flight on a Tuesday, it's cheaper than if you book any time in the rest of the week. Stuff like that, because though we know it like backhand, there are some people in the world that I guess don't know that, you know, so they're booking on Friday like, oh, well, I guess this is the cheapest that it's going to get. No, it may drop on Tuesday.
Yeah. Also, like booking a flight that you watch over the next 24 hours because there's a cancellation policy. Yeah. You're right. There's a lot
apps that are helpful, things like that. Stuff that's not going to take money out of your pocket, but I think that so when this is overall business advice for everybody that's listening and will listen, you know, I think that nothing truly takes money out of your pocket. When you position and package it correctly, it only ever puts money into your pocket. Because if you're offering free advice and you're giving people the opportunity to understand these ways that they can leverage business or leverage what they have, or, you know, use what they have to get what they want, it's always going to help them gravitate back to you. And that's how I'm segueing into our community topic.
That's actually pretty dope. Because to piggyback on that real quick, there's a movie called Miracle on 34th Street, right?
Mhm.
About this white guy who's Santa Claus and nobody believes in Santa Claus and he works at Macy's, blah 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 blah. Old
Okay.
like black and white movie, but he works at Macy's, like back in the day when Macy's was still like a up and coming department store, like one of the
Mhm.
bigger ones, and Mr. Macy's worked there, and blah 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 blah. And one of the things that was always funny about that show is that guy was Santa Claus, right? He was the real
Mhm.
Santa Claus, but you know there's the department store Santa Claus who set up to sell the toys, right?
Right.
So the whole point was he's supposed to, when a kid wants a toy, he, like basically market them to the toys they have in the store.
Mhm.
But the Santa Claus, he's the real Santa Claus. So he's like telling them, oh, we don't have this toy. You should go to Bloomingdale's. And at first, the manager's like, why would you tell him that? Like, why would you
Right.
send him somewhere else? But then somebody, like the next day, some lady wrote a letter to Mr. Macy saying, yo, your Santa was so amazing. I don't know why you guys decided to tell me to go down the street, but I went down there and I found the toy and my son is so happy, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
And that he was like, you know what? That's a great policy. No matter if we don't find them in the store, refer them somewhere else because that'll show customer thing. And then
Yeah.
Bloomingdale's was like, what? They're sending people to our store? Send them back to their store. And it became like a whole thing about like them helping each other because they
Right.
realized it was good for business for them.
Yes.
And I was like, I like that. It's not always about getting this sale. It's
Mhm.
about positioning yourself in the market.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, if you hand over this bag, you'll get a bigger bag because people will trust you. People understand that you're here to help them. You're here to solve the problem, not just sell a service.
And that's crazy because it's not only just with big businesses. That happens every day with smaller businesses. It's called affiliate marketing. Like
Big
at the end
facts,
of the
big facts,
day,
big
and
facts.
I hear so many people talk about how they, don't really want to send somebody to somebody that does something, within the same lane as what they do. But if you have too many clients or you don't have the capacity to take on this client, you're just going to tell them, oh, no, I can't help you when you know that you could send them to someone else. It doesn't necessarily mean that, they'll never come back as a client, maybe for something else, or down the line maybe they decide, you know what, this referral wasn't necessarily what I needed. I'm gonna double back to you. Maybe you have time and space for me now. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't take from you. Okay, it doesn't take from you to add to someone else.
That's a fact.
And people really think I don't know. Like, I don't know why people block their blessings in that way because it's so unnecessary. I remember one time I couldn't take on a client who was producing an event. And I always got time to do somebody's event. Always have time to do somebody's event. But, at that time, I think I was probably planning a celebs in fashion, or I was planning something. I had a lot on my plate and I knew that it wasn't the right time for me to add on to my plate. This person, had a really good idea and I sent them to another event producer or event curator, whatever you want to call it. And they did such a great job. They made so much money and then I still got paid. So it's also that, like, when you block your blessings, you block the ability for someone to be able to give back to you as well. So very important to remember that. Our guest just got here, so she's about to come down. VJ went to go get her. Today we're going to be talking about her career. She is a music artist. So I'm very interested in finding out more about how she builds her community, being that that's what we're talking about, how she builds her community and, how she uses what she does and what she knows in order to leverage for the people that are around her. So, yeah.
That's a fact. And that's important because community is the way that really helps build your brand in an authentic way.
Yep.
It helps create connections that's not bilateral. I forgot the exact term, but it creates a web as opposed
right.
to every one-on-one connection, because then those connections strengthen your relationship. Because then they're like, oh, this person connected me to that. That's like one of my favorite things in building community, whether it was through Underground Concert Series, whether it's through CLR, whether it's through Cannabaddies, is to see after this happened, I look on somebody's Instagram like, oh, you hanging out with this person? That person hanging out with that person? Oh, y'all know each other? I'm like, yeah, right. I'm like, yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Facts. You good. Right there. Yeah, I definitely agree. I've always struggled with building community, though, being an introvert. So
Which is strange, because you have one of the strongest communities I know. So
you think so?
I know so.
I don't. We gotta talk about that off air because I don't see it. I mean, I see my personal community, which is also partially my business community, but it's not large enough in a way where I consider it to be a substantial piece of me building community in business.
While I see what you're saying, it happens organically because of your consistency. You build community in a way, like you build community, you have your celebs in fashion community, right? You have all the people that's already networked with you for event spaces and know that you're the connection for event spaces. You'll have community through designers and models who know that you are the leader in your space. You have connections in the music businesses and DJs, even though you don't even do showcases, that they know that you're somebody to turn to and to connect to. Yeah, and I've met so many people through you that like I see my network as a part of your network. So like, yeah, even if you yourself are not intentionally building community, the things you do build community.
Okay, makes sense. I could take it. I could take that. We definitely need to do a show dedicated to navigating business as an introvert, though.
Yes, we do.
For a fact.
We definitely do.
Because there's a lot of people that don't like people. But you need people.
You can't be business by yourself.
Facts. So, we got the one and only Dizzy Sense in the building.
Wagwan.
How
good, Dizzy?
You?
How you feeling?
Yo, man, I'm tired. I was on the train for like an hour and 40 minutes.
Damn
near 2. And it's a Yankee game by my crib, so it was terrible.
Are you coming from Uptown?
Yeah, I'm from.
Oh, man. Dang. Yo, our last couple guests been traveling to get here.
Yeah.
Dang, I love y'all.
I travel everywhere. Like everybody always says, they're like, "Yo, you out in Brooklyn? You out in Queens from the X?" I'm like, "Yeah, I come see everybody."
Yeah, but I mean that's how you have to move in this industry, though. Can't be scared or can't be wary or like too lazy to go outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah, facts. I mean, if you travel and you meet more people, your network grows. So you got to be willing to do the footwork.
Right. You're going to have to travel to freaking Cali and Texas and Florida and out of the country and all types of things for what you do anyway. So might as well start local.
Especially as artists. I always laugh at people who want to be an artist and who want, not to laugh at artists, but laugh at people who want to be successful, like grandiose successful.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, but I don't want to leave my house. And I'm like, so you think Madison Square Garden is just going to pack itself out and come to see you? Like, everybody's just going to wake up one day and be like, you know who I want to see today? I want to spend a lot of money to stand and see that guy mad far away that I never heard of before.
Right? You gotta be willing to kind of like move around. Most of the people that I'm like making music and arting with and getting money with right now is people I met on the scene maybe 10, 15 years ago.
Wow.
So, like, my network is strong enough that because I used to go and do stuff for people for free. Like, man, I can't stress the importance of the stuff that I've done for free. Like,
Right.
I just seen my boy Frank Nizza on
I love
Saturday.
Frank Nizza.
I was just with Frank. And he like, yo, I'm like, my boy.
We gotta get him on the show.
That's a
Me
fact.
and Frank was chatting. I'm like, yo, Frank, we've known each other for a good 10 years now.
Wow.
10 years. And we always meet in bigger circles. And he be like, damn, bro, I miss you. I feel like we don't chill regularly, but I always see you in a successful environment. And it make me happy because I know even though we don't see each other, we both still doing the right things.
Right.
That's a fact.
That's super dope.
Oh shit! Now that I think about it, Dizzy, I think we met in like 2011, 2012, probably 2012.
Man,
Yeah.
I think it was like 2011.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You was
that was the hip hop
Yeah,
era. I
yeah,
met
yeah,
you
we-
and Mo De Niro the same day.
Yep.
Shout out to Mo De Niro. That's my boy too.
Shout out.
And then I think I ain't see VJ again till like
My 21st birthday.
boy, that party was crazy, man. Yo, he booked this team I was in at the time to headline his birthday party. And yo, VJ is really like the party king. I know that's not that's not you. Like, you the mogul now, but
Nah, it's part of the umbrella. It's
Son
part of the
really
umbrella.
the party king. And he invited us to headline this joint. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna come through. He's like, yo, I'm gonna rent this mansion in Brooklyn. I was like, this mansion in Brooklyn?
What?
Like, I ain't even know they had mansions.
Right.
I stepped through the door. Yo, this is some Project X. Yo, I don't
sound
know
like
what's
VJ.
this. I'm not gonna
sound
get
like
too
VJ.
crazy on the details, but we didn't end up performing till like
Almost
2 in the morning.
Yeah, yo.
2 in the morning.
Wow.
At 12 o'clock, so it's funny because like I didn't expect to end up in the cannabis industry the way I am now. But
Yeah.
it makes so much sense knowing like all the things I was doing. At this 21st birthday, at midnight, I stopped the whole crowd. I made the DJ cut the music.
This
right?
and this is my favorite memory from this party too.
Like I cut the
Son
music.
cuts the music.
And everybody's like, because I did it with a whole team, so not everybody knew it was my birthday party. Like some people just came for the party, right?
yeah.
So I cut the music. I get up on the stage. I just looking out, and everybody's like, "What the fuck is going on?" Everybody's looking at me. I'm like, "So y'all gonna sing me happy birthday?"
Oh.
And everybody's like, "Huh?" And somebody's like, "Why would I do that?" And then my bro brings out a
He
cake
brings out this
And it
cake
has
and it's 21 blunts
on the
as
cake.
candles of the cake.
Sounds
And
like
I'm
VJ.
like-
And he goes, he looks at the cake and he look at everybody in the crowd. He just start going to people. He came to me like, yo, Dez, you my nigga this year. This is
I was like, "So y'all gonna
and
sing
it's
happy
fat
birthday?" And everybody's
joints, like,
"Yo."
it was crazy. Like, it was just like, yo, what?
And everybody's like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "Yes, y'all gonna sing me happy birthday."
Right.
So as I'm passing out these blunts, I get to a point where I have like 5 left, and no one can take them because there's just so much blunts in rotation. I'm like, yo, there's like, oh, I just took this one, or I got this one, yo, I got 2. I'm like, yo, take these blunts, take them. Let's have
You're
a good
messing up my moment.
I think it was more smoke than oxygen at that point, yo. I thought I
By the
was...
time Dizzy went to perform, that whole room was smacked. Yo.
Oh,
That
wow.
whole-
Yeah, that
room
was
was fine.
insane.
That sounds. Shoot.
I
I
mean,
need a time machine.
So now that's what I'm saying. Now that I look at where I am in the cannabis industry and the moves that I'm making, I'm just
Everything
like,
makes sense.
yeah, I'm like, damn, I was always kind of destined for this.
I agree with
He was
that.
manifesting this moment.
Uh-huh.
I agree with that. I wouldn't think of you going in any other direction, especially after that particular party.
It's funny because, like, especially after that, like, I moved, I did showcases, I did this, that, and the third. But Dizzy and everybody that was at that moment, they would never forget that moment. They're like, nah, this guy really did that, yo. And I be forgetting I did that sometimes, you
And
know?
there was like no recap of this party. This is
Just-
not in the time of like big social media. We
No.
just
Yeah.
all linked,
Yeah.
and it's like it was mad people in the party.
Yeah,
mad
it was,
artists that
yeah.
I've seen on every floor of said party. Yo, I can't make it up. Like, you got to be there. You had to be there.
You had to be there, man.
That's dope, though. I love it.
But yeah, to know you from that space and to see you grow, to see your artistry grow, to see your accolades grow, to see you get on the stage and just rip motherfuckers a new one. To be honest, to be very honest, like as somebody who loves freestyling myself and enjoys that, and like I'm very picky when it comes to freestyle artists specifically, because that's my craft, that's what I love.
Yeah, I feel that.
And to see you just continue to elevate and hit at excellent levels, it makes me happy to be both your friend and a fan, you know, like it's amazing. Like, so the first thing I want to know is what keeps you motivated? What keeps this creativity going? Because your bar has been hitting since forever.
Sheesh. Oh man, that's such a tough question, but it's really an easy question too. When I first started rapping, I was maybe about 3.
Oh, wow.
My parents were both in the music industry. My dad was a DJ for an act at Def Jam and also engineered for Mariah Carey. My mom was like background dancers for like Mary J. Blige and all types of stuff. So my family is really musically involved, but for me, rapping kind of came naturally. And my parents saw it, but my mom was like the toughest critic. So for years and years and years, I just wanted to impress my moms, bro. And it was so funny because I was winning accolades. I'm on the scene beating freestyle competitions. And I would tell my moms, and my moms would be like, that's cool.
Ooh. Thanks,
She'll be
Mom.
like, that's cool, you know? And I was just like, damn, like, what I gotta do to get this lady to kind of, like, her approval? And my mom was like, she was always a big fan of me, but it never really seemed like it to me. So I never really cared how everybody else thought I was nice, because I'm like, yo, my mom don't really feel like I'm nice like that. But I'm going to keep killing y'all in the meantime.
She gonna come around eventually.
Then after a while, I kind of just stopped caring about my mom's approval, because I had found something I was really good at that was very unorthodox in this scene, because I feel like when you come into this scene as an artist, no one really thinks about freestyle artists like that. You kind of get put in the box of you need to drop songs to kind of get to this platform to do this, that, and the third.
And so you weren't necessarily releasing like
I haven't dropped the album in maybe 6 years.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying? I dropped 1 album in 6 years, toured off that album for a good 4.
What?
Yeah. Toured off that album for 4, and then people were booking me to rap off the top of my head. I didn't write things for a while. I didn't have to. I just would show up places and they'd be like, yo, we got Diz here. I guarantee whatever she's about to say is whatever y'all wrote when y'all came here.
Wow, that's
for years, that was kind of my thing. Like, people would call me to do ciphers and stuff like that.
I don't know why I feel like I met you at a cypher.
We totally, definitely met. Now, and I'll tell you exactly where we met.
Was it Live Life Radio?
It was.
Okay.
It was.
I
you
knew
had
it was,
like some cipher competition going on, and I actually had won the whole thing. I won the thing. And then, like, I was supposed to rap at this award show, but I was working at Starbucks at the time. I was a supervisor at Starbucks.
Okay.
To pay for like my engineering classes at college. And Starbucks, I was so busy switching shifts to do big shows and stuff like that. Like, I was doing Huffington Post at the time.
Wow.
Doing YouTube Team Backpack. You name it, I was doing it. But my district manager came in the job and he was like, effective immediately, supervisors can no longer switch shifts.
Oh.
And I was like, yo, I feel like that was aimed
towards
directly at me, and it was sucking because I couldn't go to things anymore.
Right.
And what sucked more than that was, like, I was working at this Starbucks on Union Square, and Legendary Cyphers was happening in the park in Union Square every Friday.
Oh.
Every Friday. And I was like the top of that domain in Legendary Cyphers. So people would be coming in to order Starbucks, and they'd be like, yo, it's you. Like, what you doing in here, bro? And it used to piss me off, bro. Because people was pulling up videos of me, and I'm like, cash or credit.
Oh man,
You get what I'm saying? And at a certain point, I was in there, and I'm like, I'm wasting my potential here. And I literally just gave my 2 weeks, like maybe 2 weeks before I graduated from school, and worked in the studio right after that.
Oh, then that's perfect.
Yeah, it was a crazy trajectory. Like I left Starbucks, I ended up engineering with my big bro Captive. Shout out to Cap. That's my brother for real. And he put me in a position to be able to engineer for like Treyway and Griselda Records. Like I got to engineer with Conway the Machine, Pepsi, Nickelodeon. You kind of name it, I was in the chair for it. So I just feel like I never had a very regular artist route, which kind of put me in a position where I am right now, where I'm touring with Freestyle Love Supreme, which is created by Lin-Manuel Miranda, Wayne Brady, on Broadway right now. We have a residency coming up in the Venetian in Vegas. Kicking off at, we leave in 2 weeks, and then we're in the Venetian until April. All improv.
That's amazing.
On like Broadway improv hip hop show. It's 90 minutes. Each show is different and entirely based on audience suggestions, which really sounds up my alley because that's what I've been doing all these years anyway.
Yeah. Wow. That's, yo, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you kind of... You kind of got me speechless here because I didn't expect all of that. Like, I don't remember that cipher. I'm not going to lie. I just remember that it happened.
Yeah, it totally happened.
I just knew that it happened. But I also remember, like, during the process of me looking for artists to participate in that cipher, you got so many referrals that everybody was like, no, you need to have this person on here. I'm like, okay, I don't know who that is, but yeah, sure. Like,
I probably sent to Dizzy too. Now that I think about it.
Probably. But I love that. So, in all of this time, do you feel like the fact that you decided to stay in, I won't say stay in a lane because we all do a lot, but choosing to do more so freestyle rapping as opposed to taking the traditional artist route, do you feel like in what ways do you feel like that helped with you building the community that then turns around and refers you for all of these things? Or, you know, like,
I think it built my community because for one, everybody in recommendation fashion, as you just said, like, you know, my name comes up in a lot of places and it's always great reviews. You get what I'm saying? It's always great. My execution is great. My bar work is great. And my pen work is great, which put me in a nice field now where I'm doing improv Broadway on one level, but then I'm also doing sync licensing gigs around the clock. I get lots of sync licensing gigs that kind of come to my email all the time. When Bel Air first started, they was like, yo, here's these songs we need for Bel Air because we don't have them filled yet. And we know you could do that job. I don't even have to put it under my name if I don't want to. I could write for someone else and give it up, and I'm still going to get paid off those things. And I kind of like that. I like that
you
better
get to choose
than having to go on stages all the time. You know what I'm saying? Even in the improv Broadway world, that's such a different world. It don't even matter what I do over there. Like, I got lots of fans in that world, and then I get to come back to this one, and nobody know that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We did a whole tour all year, and I performed in some of the biggest stages and sold out shows, and it was nice signing autographs after the show. Performed on NBC with Lin-Manuel this summer. It was it's nice, and I get to come back home and be regular. I'm cool with that.
That's what's up.
I'm cool with that. I get to be regular. I get to buy nice things and you know, go on nice vacations and be like, well, I don't want to work this month, and my bills are paid after this week.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying?
I love that.
I do maybe a good 1 or 2 gigs in a month, and it's like, well, my bills are paid. Anything else after this could go into savings. I could put it into crypto if I want to. I could do sports betting if I want to. I made sure I picked up every skill that I was interested in. So if I didn't want to be in the limelight, I would still be pretty fine. Like,
right,
I
and
would
that's
still be
really
okay.
important. That's
I love that. I love that. I love that, especially because diversifying your skill set is something that artists don't think about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've always had a head ahead of the game. I mean, your freestyle ethic and your freestyle work already speaks for that alone. But to be able to realize that, like, a lot of people that become artists cannot separate the ego from what they're doing with the success from what they're doing.
Yeah.
Right.
And so everything for them is married together in that space where, oh, the success for me means the limelight, means the attention, means the this, means the that. Where you're seeing like, all right, well, as long as I'm getting my goals met, it doesn't matter if I'm on the stage or off the stage. It doesn't matter if I'm getting booked to rap about chicken nuggets or the block. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I've seen Dizzy win freestyle contests like where the two people rapping had to pretend they were in a marriage, and it was a unsuccessful marriage, and somebody got to be the husband, somebody got to be the wife.
For sure.
And I've seen Dizzy violate. I've seen Dizzy violate as a vegetable. Rapping
totally remember that.
as a vegetable, and somebody was a fruit, and they had to go back and forth against each other. Like,
That was a great competition.
shout out to Freestyle Mondays.
Shout that out. Totally was. And then I was like a roach the next round.
Yep. Some stupid
like
shit.
That. Yeah, that
and
was.
It's really all about the adaptability, and to see you take that on the stage and adapt it off the stage, and adapt it in your craft and adapt it in your skill set, to be like, yo, I'm being freaking Broadway, and y'all don't need to know about that. Y'all don't even need to know. I'm not doing this for your clout, for your acceptance. I'm doing this because it's part of me. It's part of what I want to do. And so, yeah, like a lot of people need to recognize that, like, on this journey, especially if you really believe you're gonna be successful, all that stuff is gonna be there. It's gonna be there. Like, if you believe you're gonna be nice, you're gonna be nice. Like, that, you don't have to fiend for every moment. You don't have to chase every little moment of acceptance, because you can put that to the side to focus on your journey, you know. And so I'm really proud of you to see how much you've grown and how accomplished you've become.
Thank you, man. I look at it like versatility is super important as an artist altogether. I think in the beginning of my artist career, I seen people that were versatile because they wanted to cut costs. They didn't have enough money to pay for certain things that they needed. Whereas I came from out the jacks. You get what I'm saying? We could always find somebody that could do something for a really low cost.
Yeah.
But I knew that the person with many trades, you get what I'm saying, could eat forever. And that was my first thing. Like, I was like, damn, I'm going to these events and I'm seeing a bunch of people in the beginning of my career that didn't have a photographer. So I was like, let me become a photographer and get that bread. That's open market right there. Like, hustler mentality. But then in the same token, I'm like, all right, I'm an artist. I had to go to college for business administration, you get what I'm saying, and contract reading, because I'm like, I don't have a manager or an agent. I get gigs myself, or I get gigs in the same way somebody recommends me for a cypher. They recommend me for big gigs too. Like, I get emails and it's like, yo, a good 7 people recommended you for this, and we're definitely not thinking about taking any option other than you because of that. Because big people are co-signing you now, and that's a real big thing. Whereas in, you know, a lower tier of it, even when a lot of people are recommending you for the same position or same ciphers or same shows to do, you're more inclined to get in those positions too. And I was always big on, yo, let me strengthen my connections with the people I'm really close to, my artist friends that I'm seeing all the time. Let me go out the way and go support, you know, somebody's stuff. Like, I've been back in the city since July, and I've made it my point to at least go visit one of my artist friends like whatever it is, whether it's a podcast or a show, just for the love purposes. Like they'll be like, yo, we don't got the budget. I'll be like, yo, it's cool, bro. I'm not worried about that. I'm gonna just show face, come there. If you need me to rap a little bit, I'll do that too, and then I'm gonna break out, bro. Like, I want to break bread, make sure your event is successful, and then I'm gonna leave. It's enough money for everybody. So why be greedy with it? You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's not gonna hurt me to support somebody.
We literally just said that before you got here.
Yeah, it's never gonna hurt me to support somebody. I feel like in the beginning of my career, I was really heavy on that and ended up joining teams. But then I felt like I was always the MVP of that team. And that wasn't a fun position to be in. Yeah. Because I didn't look at it that way, but I could tell like we were always in competition with each other as opposed to the strength in numbers concept. Right. It made me so much so like not want to be in teams again. Yeah. But now I'm in a Broadway ensemble, so it does that really right. It's just about being in the right.
Yeah,
exactly. I think
it really does matter, the right team. And especially it's hard, as I said, artists marry that ego with the success, you know? And so it's hard for a lot of people, especially a lot of artists whose entire idea of success is tied around what they're doing versus what other people are doing, you know? And a lot of people get in that space where, oh, this person's doing that. Why can't I get that opportunity? Or why am I not doing this? Or why am I not doing that? Where it's like, bro, everybody has their own time and their own space. But you know, I mean, a lot of people don't have that vision. So it really does matter, the right team. The right team is the most important thing, to be honest.
And I think the right vision just comes from what you're trying to do. I had no idea what the vision was for myself as an artist. Right. For a really long time. And I had no model blueprint of a freestyle artist, let alone like a female freestyle artist actually like navigating the scene as much. And after a while, I totally did realize it was only me for a while. Yeah. And I was like, wow, that was crazy. But then I brought other female artists into the fold that could also freestyle at a really high ability, and then it brought more visibility to it. But like I've always kind of been in that prodigy seat for a really long time of like, yo, Diz is that freestyle artist, and it was like, man, there's tons of other freestyle artists. Like if I mention myself, it's weird mentioning the freestyle community and not mentioning like Osiris Anthem. You know what I'm saying? Or not mentioning Eli Black, Rabbi Darkside, freaking Why Not Show Love, Corey Lima. Like I could, well, Corey, my bad, ill, because I just really violated on you. But you get what I'm saying? Like it's a whole community of it. And I think for me, what was really awesome in my journey was I got to shed light on both sides. You know what I'm saying? Like I was doing Freestyle Mondays at the same time Scott Morris is kicking off Dean's List tour, but me and Scott are rapping in the park. Right. You get what I'm saying? And now I see Scott now and I'm like, yo, what up, Nigel? Right. What's up with you? Like that's still my guy, and we still show love and everything. And it's just like there was a lot of people that was in those parks that are in different places today, and it's awesome to see. You know what I'm saying? I met Frank freestyling also, but in the same token, I also seen Frank that same day perform and light the stage up and jump off the stage, leap, honestly. Yes. In Tim's. Yeah. And I was like, nah, this man's different. He's a different
I remember
man.
The first time I saw him perform, he did a backflip. Yeah. On the stage. I think he backflipped off of the stage, and I was like, what in the hell is going on?
Like that.
I was just like so like surprised because a lot of no, for real, a lot of people, they I think I find more these days than ever before that people just don't have that energy anymore.
Yeah,
like there's no stage presence.
New York is a different place right now, right?
Yeah.
Like I tell people all the time, hip hop kind of works on a 20-year cycle. It's my theory.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like in the 90s, they were mimicking the things that were going on in the 70s. You know what I'm saying? The mob bosses and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. Then the 2000s came along and they moved into really dance-friendly music and shiny clothes, much like the 80s.
Yeah.
Pop colors. And then we got to 2010, and when you got to 2010, you started getting posse cuts, like the Wu-Tang era.
Mm-hmm.
You started getting the Beast Coast and all these big groups.
Right.
And then now we're in this 2020s era, and it's remakes of 2000s.
Yeah,
you can't escape the radio without it. So hip-hop is always going to do that 20-year backspin with just updated production.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So if you kind of anticipate the curve, you could get ahead of it. I think people often follow the curve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's why things don't sound as original as opposed when people anticipate it and make something fresh and brand new.
Right. Mm-hmm. What do you think about this drill culture?
I think drill culture has always been there. I say it in that way because the drill era that we're in right now
existed somewhere else.
It existed here. I think it was just on a smaller scale of notoriety in songs. Mm-hmm. I think what the songs are now is soundtracks to active murders and crimes that are happening in real time, which is really sad. But I also know the names that are coming out, especially like in Bronx drill records. The stuff they're talking about and the content they're beefing about is from when I was, 16 and stuff. Like, when I was 16, 15, YG and OYG and things like that was just coming up.
Yeah,
I'm from Patterson Projects. I was born and raised there, which is on the line of Mott Haven, which is Coke Boy section. Those things were already happening.
Yeah, those OYs and them OGs and
living that in real time. My best friend Johnny got killed outside of my window, and he was the catalyst in what started the rest of that war. Because in retaliation of that, this kid Noah was killed, and this kid Noah talked about today.
Noah was K-Flock's man's.
And that's the thing though. K-Flock is a younger kid. Yeah. I'm way older than K-Flock. You know what I'm saying? Which means Noah was way older than K-Flock.
Yep.
Noah was a year younger than me. So when you look at it, it's just these things was happening. It's just now these kids got no OGs because all the OGs got indicted and are in jail, and they have no person to show them the way. Like, hey, don't rap that.
Right.
Indictments come faster when you rap about
I've been thinking
murders
about
as they're happening in real time. Statute of limitations takes a really long time.
I've been thinking about that a whole lot, and just like the RICO is the reason why gangs exist the way they are now, because with locking up the heads of so many gangs,
absolutely,
you create a culture where kids don't have any, like they need the gang, they quote unquote, they need that home, that protection, that blah blah blah, but there's no more system behind it. Like you couldn't touch this person because you needed permission. You don't know who's who, but now you don't care because there's the person who needed to get permission is both of them is locked up.
They in jail, so and now there's younger people running these areas. Yeah. So you gonna get this drill wave that you have right now. There's a direction in the sound, but most of the patterns are repetitive. And they yelling, they're peaking on records. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying that doesn't work. It worked for Casanova for a while. Like Casanova's real vocals are peaking, distorting, legit. Before they even get bounced out, they are going crazy.
It frustrates me.
And they hit the radio, but it was intentional. Like that was intentional. And
put a whole compressor on that.
That style, right? That style with Casanova, like he was the guy that came with you to the studio to assess the situation and rob other people. If that is a narrative that we could keep repeating over and over, you get drill.
Yeah.
You get drill. You get the kids that was wild. They don't have a lot of experiences of learning from their consequences. You're going to get drill.
You will.
And you're going to get what was conscious rap is now alternative rap.
Right.
When it was mainstream rap. And then you got DJs like DJ K Slay is gone now. That's somebody that really played like East Coast hip hop.
Right.
That wasn't worried about what was popular or anything like that. And now you don't have him. You have
academics.
You got academics. You got academics. You get what I'm saying? And it changes the sound when there's no gatekeepers anymore.
Yeah.
Because who's going to preserve that culture? You got academics talking about legends and pioneers that kind of coast that wave and talking down on them. We don't have DJs that's standing up for that old culture. So what you going to do?
Yeah.
That's a fact. So before we get out of here, what's next for the amazing Dizzy Sense?
Well, as I said, touring at the Venetian.
Right, I was about to say Vegas.
Opening night at the Venetian is November 16th.
That's what's up.
We got Lin-Manuel joining us for that weekend. We got a ton of other special guests that I can't really name right now, but it's a red carpet event.
Nice.
Tickets are already on pre-sale. We're scheduled to be at the Venetian till the end of January, but if we do what we're supposed to do, there's a possible extension till April. And then we're back in the city. We're back here for another Broadway run down the road. We just came off tour from January to August. Things move fast. My voice is in a lot of other stuff. I do hip-hop curriculum work for kids from kindergarten through 12th grade.
Wow.
I rap lesson plans out for a lot of schools across the world, so a lot of kids get to hear my voice and my perspective on things and then take tests on the things that I've just spit, which is a whole different bag. A lot of sync licensing work for movies and shows. Can't really get into that, but I will say that. I don't know if I want to do another project yet, but it's a whole bunch of freestyles coming out, like a lot of them, and a lot of podcasts and stuff that I'm going to be on in the next few months. But honestly, I'm just living, dog. I'm living life. I'm living life. I rap on my free time, which is really all the time.
That's amazing.
I love that.
I'm proud of you. Thank you for forever being you.
Yo.
Thank you for blessing the world with your talent.
Absolutely.
Like,
tell them where they can find you on Instagram.
Instagram is feelingdizzy.wave. Twitter is Dizzy's Lit Life. That's about it for right now. Website will be up soon. It's kind of offline right now, but it is youfeelingdizzy.com.
I like that. BJ?
I say this every week. If you hear my voice and you ain't find me yet, you ain't looking hard enough.
You ain't looking hard enough.
It's VE_JANO. I'm the only Vijano, so you can't get me confused.
Facts. And you can find me on Instagram. That's Dime Smith. Dime with a Y, not an I. And make sure y'all follow us on the gram, The Making Mogul Show. We're live every Monday, 7 to 8 p.m. on Xtreme 104 FM. And we out.
We out.